Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Centering a div with position, absolute can be achieved using CSS by setting the left and top properties to 50% and then adjusting the div back by half of its own width and height. This method effectively centers the div within its nearest positioned ancestor, an ancestor with position, relative, absolute, or fixed. Hashtag step-by-step tutorial. Hashtag 1. HTML structure. First, you need a simple HTML structure. Here's an example of a parent container and a child div that you want to center. Hashtag 2. CSS styling. Now, let's add the CSS to style the container and the centered div. Hashtag explanation. 1. Container setup. The .container div has position, relative. This is crucial because it establishes a containing block for the absolutely positioned child element. The container can have a defined width and height, but it can also be set to 100% of the viewport if desired. 2. Centering the child div. The .centered div is set to position, absolute, which allows it to be positioned relative to the nearest positioned ancestor, in this case, the .container. Setting top, 50% and left, 50% places the top left corner of the .centered div at the center of the .container. The transform, translate, -50%, -50%, is what truly centers the div by shifting it back by half its width and height. Hashtag result. With the above code, when you open the HTML file in a browser, you will see a white container with a blue box that is perfectly centered both vertically and horizontally. Hashtag additional notes. You can adjust the size of the centered div by changing the padding, which will also affect the positioning. This method works well for fixed sizes. For responsive designs, ensure that the child div's size adjusts appropriately, or use CSS media queries to handle different screen sizes. This method is widely used due to its simplicity and effectiveness, making it suitable for various web design scenarios.